Testing. Is this thing on? Can anybody hear me? Is my voice being heard? Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? Yeah, of course it's on. I'm getting feedback in my monitor. Hey, so anyway, we're about to start the show. This is Mickey in the middle. Come on down. You're the next contestant on Mickey in the Middle, 9 p.m. Central, every Monday through Friday. And guess what? It's Friday. We're looking forward to a great Saturday, great weekend. Somebody's here. Hey, somebody showed up. I'm so glad that. Hey, do me a favor as soon as you get here. Go ahead and check on in. Send me a message that says, hey, at least one or two people are here. That way I can know that somebody's in the room, somebody's listening, somebody cares. Right now we have a couple of people, couple of four. Hello, Don. How you doing? Hey, guess what, man? We're going to talk about some interesting stuff today. It's going to be good. Hello, Mark Calculator. Hello, Mark. I'm glad that you guys are here. I am so excited to be doing this today. So I'm going to be talking about my use of the term Overlord. Why I'm talking about Overlords. Why I'm talking specifically about Overlords. I hate Overlords. Well, that's what we're going to start off with today. And then we're going to talk about everybody's equality. Hello, Don. Well, I care about you too, Don. Hello, Susie. How you doing? Oh, by the way, that was such a cute picture you put out the other day, Susie. That's well done. So, all right. Hey, I think it's time to go do this. So, right after Ollie gets done with this little solo piece, we're doing this. And I think I'm ready to do it right this time. Oh, light. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, I just got the light on. Hello, everybody. How you doing? My name is Mickey. This is Mickey in the Middle. Welcome to the show. This is the quintessential show for middle Americans. All Americans who are picking the middle side. All right, I don't want you to pick the right side. I don't want you to pick the left side. I want you to pick the middle side, the side that's right for middle Americans. We got a little project going on called Operation 536. And over the next 6 years, I want to replace every single congressman, congresswoman, senator, and the president of the United States. Now, I've got 6 years to get this right. I got 2 years. I got 1 year until the next House of Representatives vote, right? So we're going to vote. If everybody can straighten up their election systems, I would greatly appreciate it. That would be great. That would be dandy if everybody could get their shit together so that we can actually have a decent election where everybody's not yelling fraud, 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 or people aren't going, hey, there's nothing to see here. Nothing to see. So that's just absolutely crazy. Of course there's something to see. At minimum, there's minimum fraud going on. At maximum, people were changing the outcomes of the presidential election. That's crazy, right? So at minimum, you have a little fraud. At maximum, you have the change in direction of an entire country. And when I get to it, I'm doing a show next week. Monday night's going to be the big socialism show. I've been promising it for a while now, but I'm really gonna do socialism next Monday night, and I'm gonna work on it all night long. It's probably gonna be an hour-long show, so you're gonna have to hold on to your seats. So last night I did a show about election fraud called Gotcha, and maybe we didn't get them. Maybe they are not gotten, right? So the way that it was presented, they said, hey, look here, this table came in at 8 o'clock in the morning. When they shut down, they started pulling ballots out of this. So apparently when they shut down, apparently last night when they shut down and they said, hey, everybody's going to go home, people took opened ballots, right? Opened ballots, put them in the box, sealed them, and then put them underneath the table. So this is that's the crazy thing about this, right? So that is the crazy thing that I want to go to first. That's the show, Mickey in the Middle. We're not 20% of the crazies on the left. They can just go stay crazy on the left. We're not worried about that 20% that are crazy on the right. We're only worried about the 60% of middle Americans, right? So this right here is what I wanted to show you. Georgia election officials show a frame-by-frame what really happened in Fulton County. And I got this off of WSB TV Channel 2. And basically, what the gist is, this video shows people that are in the Georgia vote counting business with an explanation of what happened. And you can watch the video. Let me see if I can find the video real quick. So inside of the video, they did a lot of talking. Yeah. So here's what happened. At 8 o'clock in the morning, she brings in the table. She sets it down. These are the poll workers that are watching. And at 10 o'clock in the evening, they take these opened ballots right there, right? So they take the open ballots at 10 o'clock at night, and then they go, well, they're open ballots. They have to be secure, so we're going to secure them. So my question is, how come they didn't put them on top of the table? Why did they put them underneath the tablecloth? Where did the votes come from? Why were they opened? Like the way that I would do it, right? If I was in charge, what I would do is I would open up a box and I would count it. No stopping counts on that box until that box is finished. And then you reseal that box and then you go put it in a predetermined place. You just don't go, oh, hey, look here, by the way, I have this table over here. We're just going to put the stuff underneath the table and underneath the tablecloth. That's what they did. Why would they put that underneath? Are they trying to hide something, or are they trying to, with a big-ass note on it said, these are open ballots that were sealed at this time, with a big-ass note that said, we need to do this. So later at 11, after everybody that was watching watched it, they were like, oh, yeah, they got a phone call that said that they couldn't shut down. But they didn't call anybody back. And then they just went, oh, yeah, well, we put these over here to make it look official, like they're taking off a seal or something. So that's what their counter story is to, hey, boxes were pulled out from underneath this table and then counted in the dead of night. Oh, well, they were open ballots. First of all, who opened them? Second of all, why weren't they counted after it was open? 3, do you ever stop counting in the middle of a box? Why would you allow somebody to do that? Oh, all right, so here we go. We care. Greg Meyer, how you doing? No picture, no video. No picture, no video. Hold on just a second. That should be going out on the feed right there with my snowball. Yeah, I don't have them talking. It's just me yapping, so I'm sorry about that. So, all right, back to me. All right, so that was the whole gotcha thing, right? So here's the funny thing about that. Somebody makes an accusation, they deflect it. Somebody makes an accusation, they deflect it. And that's just the way that it goes. So, I don't know. Who knows who's lying? It's going to go to court. We don't have a vote anyway, so it doesn't matter. This is all fodder. Last night, the way that it was presented, and that's why I'm presenting the other side, because I'm fair. I want to be fair. So I'm probably not going to do any more election stuff anymore. I'm just going to let the court decide, and then I'm going to be out of it. So I get your vision and support it. How realistic is it? Seems a bridge too far. Well, Here's the funny I'll keep Ted Cruz and Dan Crenshaw. Right. So, Mark, here's what the funny thing is about that, right? Here's what the funny thing is about keeping people. If you keep yours, they're going to want to keep theirs, right? So you vote keep Ted Cruz and Dan Crenshaw, who I would love to keep. I would love to keep them. But then they have a chance to take their folks. And therein lies the issue of that. So if they take their folks, why wouldn't they just stick with Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer? Then it doesn't change. It just doesn't change. So we got a dude from Tom Cotton from Arkansas. Veteran, good dude, up and comer. I expect him to run for president one of these days. I would love to see Crenshaw run for president one of these days. But we got to reset everything. That's why I have in here, it says replace red with red, blue with blue. We just want them to work together. That's the only thing I want, right? So right now, the House is blue. The Senate is red. If we replace that and we keep that, as long as they talk to each other, all of a sudden now they can come up. with a solution. Now, I'm going to get more into Operation 536 in a different show next week, because I got some things to explain about why I want to do it like this and how we can do this. So I'm going to talk about that here I'm going to be talking about that next week. But right now, I want to get to my notes. There are the notes, all right? So, but I want to talk specifically about my use of the term overlord. Now, a lot of people gave me suggestions about you use the term overlord. I call them evil SOBs. I call them master. I call them this, that, and the other thing. So the reasons I want to call the people that are in the government overlords is because of a couple of very, very specific reasons. Number one, there is no position called overlord in our system. There's nobody called an overlord. There's a landlord, right? And that's a carryover from the people that owned land. But if you think about it, there is no position for overlord, at least in the government. But there are landlords. There are lords over in England, but there are none in the United States. Second, overlord, that's kind of an insulting term. When you think about it, you get into Star Wars. My daughter pointed out it's a Star Wars thing, right? So there's Queen Amidala, there's Princess Leia, there's a supreme leader. Could you imagine calling somebody a supreme leader in the United States of America? And then there's Lord Vader, right? There's Lord Vader. Of course, he's the evil guy, right? So it infers that they're not great people, but they have a position over you that you did not grant them, that they take it from you by proxy of their vote, because they can kill you, because they don't have to let you have a voice. They can imprison you. They can do a lot of different things to you, but at the same time, these overlords that are in the House and the Senate and in the a lot of the governor's mansions, we can't mess with the states right now. Let California have California, let New York have New York, let Louisiana have Louisiana, let everybody have that. I'm just talking about the 536 people that have the biggest say in the way that we run our country in the federal level. And here's what this will stop. What this will stop is it will stop the idea that they are congresspeople and senators. If we use the term overlord, all of a sudden it becomes a bit insulting, right? So don't refer to Nancy Pelosi anymore as Congresswoman Pelosi. Just refer to her as Overlord Pelosi. Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's leading the Senate right now. Overlord McConnell. Well, and then they go, well, why would you do that? He is just trying to, well, listen, if you do it on the right, you got to do it on the left. I want all 536 of them gone because they don't talk to anymore. Nancy's been in the House for 33 plus years. Mitch McConnell's been in there for 35 plus years, and they don't talk to each other anymore. They just hurl insults at each other. And then they come up with oppressive things that are going to direct the way that you live and I live and how everybody else lives in the United States of America. So when AOC says something and you just look at her and you just go, Overlord Ocasio-Cortez, what in the world are you talking about? Overlord, could you define that? And you want to see her spin up? I want to see them all spin up. I want them to get the message that they are taking our lives and they are making decisions as if they own us. They are not listening to the constituents. They are not listening to the little people. They're not listening to the people in the middle. They're playing to their base and they're playing to their extremes. And they're trying to prove points and they're trying to go like the blue side is trying to go just like socialist, hardcore. Man, I saw some of the things that they've got on their agenda. As soon as Chuck Schumer says, first we take Georgia, then we change the world. That's what literally he said. He said, first we take Georgia, then we change the world. Hey, what if I like the world? What if I like the world? What if I like the United States of America the way that it is? That's the way it is. All right, so the term overlord does not threaten anybody. It's more of an insult and it's kind of funny. Hey, I would like the term overlord. Yes, That's what I would like. I would like everyone to call me Overlord Mickey. Yes. You know, it's straight out of a cartoon. That's straight out of a cartoon or some kind of a comedy sketch where somebody goes, hey, yeah, I would like you to call me Overlord. That's the way that it goes. It disassociates, the next thing is, it disassociates people from the Overlord class. Like, there's a lot of people that are out there, like Governor Walz today, on Tuesday, he put out a thing that you're not allowed to get together in large groups in that assembly, right, which is guaranteed in the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America, is now illegal in his state. And he further clarified, and he said, and if you are talking about getting together and you are encouraging people together, that he will take the sheriff's department and the state troopers, and you will be investigated for sedition and for crimes against humanity. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that is crazy. Right, Mark. Not for 30, 40 years. I mean 2 or 3. Listen, the first thing that I want these 536 new people to do, the first thing that I want the 536 people to do is to say term limits. So I'm going to outline this, everything that I want from Operation 536 next week. Monday's going to be socialism. Tuesday's going to be about 536. I'm going to write that down. Monday, socialism. Tuesday is 536. When I get into 536, you're going to understand. You're going to understand everything that I'm talking about, my agenda, why I think that everybody will support this on the left, on the right, because I don't want any harm. The Senate can be ruled by red. The House can be ruled by blue. You just send us the same people that you voted for last time, but not any incumbents. How simple is that? It's going to the House. Yeah, Greg, the vote's probably going to go to the House. We need 100%, and we need term limits in Congress. Right, so that's why we need 536 people to say that they will support term limits. So the first thing that they vote on is 535, which is in the House and the Senate. 535 vote on that. They vote yes for term limits. It goes to the President of the United States. If he vetoes it or she vetoes it, then it can go back to them, and they can approve that by a 75% override of the House and the Senate. How about that? So if blue keeps voting blue and red keeps voting red, there'll be no compromise. Where is the bipartisanship then? Right. So I'm going to explain this more on Tuesday, but the bipartisanship is, in order to be elected by middle Americans, the first thing you have to do is you have to promise to talk to the other side. So it's on the slide, right? It's on the slide. We just want them to work together. That's the only promise they got to make, right? The first thing I want them to do is I want them to do term limits. And then it doesn't even have to apply to them. It doesn't even have to apply to them. They can grandfather themselves in and say when they are replaced, then that term limits apply to whoever comes into the House or the Senate after them. So whoever we vote up there, they have to work together. They have to vote for term limits. They can grandfather themselves, and then they can stay in there as long as they want. But the number one thing, I want them to be able to talk to each other, because as soon as we get the red side and the blue side talking to each other, I'm not going to get into this, but I got an idea on how we can encourage them to talk to each other as well. I am sorry about the bandwidth. I can't do anything about the bandwidth. Shit, here we go. I don't even know how to fix the bandwidth issue. I don't have anything up and on. Let me see if I've got anything that's up and on that I can fix or I can change. Let me get rid of all this stuff. There was a girl that was mad. I will show that to you guys later. All right, so that's the amendment. I got rid of everything I possibly can. I am so sorry about that. Yes. All right. So anyway, all right. So next thing about the Overlords, right? It's just insulting enough without cussing at them. See, here's the funny thing about the term Overlord. You're not allowed to cuss at anybody. You're not allowed to call them names. You're not allowed to be disparaging. But if you call them Overlord, then all of a sudden it clearly defines what you think they are. And if every single time you use that, then all of a sudden they will get the message that we believe that they are superior to the rest of us. And here's the funny thing about it. They are not superior to the rest of us. They are us. They're supposed to be us, and they're supposed to be cool, and they're supposed to be able to work in a bipartisan way in order to get what we want. But the term Overlord clearly expresses, hey, look here, you have got some ideas where you think that you own us, and you own the money that's in Congress, and you own all of the policies that you're either for or against. But those are the people's policies. They're making the rules for the people. And when you make rules for the people, you need to seriously consider the rules by which you are making those. If you disenfranchise one person in order to franchise another person, and that disenfranchisement comes from an American citizen at the expense of an illegal alien, a visiting person, or another country, all of a sudden you have done something to your constituency that would not normally be done. If you want to sign off on the Paris Climate Accords, well, that needs to go to the Senate. But right now, Barack Obama never brought that to the Senate. So the Senate never had a chance to vote on it and say whether it's a good idea. That's why when Trump turned off the Paris Climate Accords, that's why it wasn't a big-ass deal. Because there wasn't any agreement by the United States on the Paris Climate Accords. It was never ratified by the Senate, and the Senate has to approve all treaties with other states and other governments. So this whole thing about the Paris Climate Accords, that was one overlord saying, we shall sign up for the Paris Climate Accords. And everybody went, yay! No! It didn't go to the Senate. The people didn't have a voice. You negotiate the treaties, but they're all ratified by the Senate. If they're not ratified by the Senate, that makes you an overlord. I'm just saying, that's the way that it goes. There's not any type of a compromise there. Barack Obama signed up for it, but it was a non-starter as far as the rest of the United States was concerned. Thanks, I just asked because I don't know if it's me. Oh, no, it's not you. I'm sure it's me. I don't know. My bandwidth is showing green right now, but it was showing red just a minute ago. After all, I live in a travel trailer in my in-laws' driveway. Oh, dude, I want to see your living quarters. I was thinking about doing that myself. So just want to let you know. All right, so what's the other thing I want to talk about tonight? So the term Overlord, that's why I want to use the term Overlord. I don't want to call them evil. I don't want to call them dickheads. I don't want to call them assholes. I don't want to call them any other names. But if we just start using the term Overlords, then that would be great with me. We don't have to make anything up. If we all use it together, and we start talking and we use it on Parler and on Rumble and on Facebook and on Twitter, instead of referring them to as Pelosi this or Pelosi that, you go, hey, that B word Pelosi or that D word McConnell, or you can use insert any of the congressmen or the anybody that thinks or acts like an overlord. We just need to use that. Live video interrupted. Doggone it. Sure, Mark, I will message you after the show. All right, so here's what the other thing. And then when I looked it up, the term overlord is subinfeudated a manor or estate to a tenant they owned them service. So if you owe somebody service, then they are your overlord. right? And that's the way these people act. They act like we owe them something rather than they owe us something. So the term is sub-infeudated, right? So that means from the feudal system, which means when you have the overlords and you have the serfs, and then you had the feudal caste system, then that's why I want to specifically use the term overlord. So when you're talking about any of the people that you think is an overlord, just put in the term overlord. Here's what the thing is. This is the only reason I'm scared of doing this. The only reason I'm scared of doing this is because in 20 years, if they win, they're going to name themselves Overlord Ocasio-Cortez. AOC, that's what they're going to do. It's going to be absolutely horrible, right? So that's my stuff on my use of the term overlord and why I want to specifically use that, because I believe that they have sub-infeudated us and that they think that we owe them, and that's not cool, right? So what I want you to do is I don't want you to pick any side. I don't want you to pick the right side. I don't want you to pick the left side. What I want you to do is I want you to pick the middle side. I want you to understand it's the people against the overlords, and the overlords have got to go. There's only 536 of them. I want everybody to understand this. There's only 536 of them. Replace red with red, replace blue with blue, make them make a couple of promises. We just want them to be able to work together. If they go, hey, let's go do Paris, let's go find a way to go do Paris that makes it work for both sides, and go, hey, look here, man, how about instead of doing all green energy and we getting these batteries, how about if we build a couple of nuclear plants over here and that'll help us get our carbon down? No, I want to use air and solar. Well, air and solar is highly ineffective because the wind stops blowing and the sun stops shining. We still have 330 million Americans that need to have transmission lines put up, and you can't fly airplanes on solar power or wind power. You can take an airplane, point it into the wind, and you blow high enough, it'll float in the air, but it's not moving forward, and you can't turn it around and go with the wind because then it'll crash. That's the way an airplane works. So you need something to produce enough thrust, and when AOC says, we need to get rid of airplanes and cows, that means she's an idiot. She's an overlord idiot. She doesn't understand how shit works. I don't know whether they tell me that she has a degree in economics, but she might have a degree in economics, but she does not have a degree in common sense. So, Overlord AOC, I'm telling you right now, come on down here. You want the Paris Climate Accords to work? I will tell you how to get the Paris Accords, or climate, whatever the hell, the Paris Climate Accords to work. I can do that. I have actually read enough popular science, and I've actually studied enough things that I know how we can get it to work. And the first thing it's going to take is a whole bunch of private companies to develop the technology that we need in order to do that. And I don't want anybody in the government or me and you paying for that. I want them to risk their own money, raise their own capital. The government needs to stay out of it. I'm just saying, right? So that's all the time I got for tonight. I am so sorry that I did not get to my second, which is everybody's equal. I promise I will put that on a back burner. And next week we're going to talk about the process of everybody being equal. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to spoil the show for you. I'm not going to spoil the show. But right now, everybody's equal. And I can prove it. They might not be equal everywhere in the world. They are equal in the United States of America. And I can prove this with one single demonstration that you will just go, yeah, damn, I mean, if everybody's not equal, that pretty much proves that everybody is equal. So that's what you have to look forward to next week. I don't know what day I'm going to get to it, but somebody's going to be equal next week. So thank you very much. I can't handle the freezing up of your broadcast. Love you, brother. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm recording this. I'm going to take this down and I'll repost it. So thank you very much. Mark, I'll post you after the show. Greg, Mark, Mark, Don, Susie, Greg, Don, Mark Calcaterra, Mark Blinn, Greg, Susie, thanks a lot for tuning in. I will repost this right after the show as soon as it gets done processing. So thank you very much for tuning in. This is Mickey in the Middle, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Central, right here in either Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, Alaska, Texas. Who knows where the heck I'm going to be. So you guys be good. Take care. Remember to live, laugh, love. Peace, everybody. See you next Monday. See ya.